do you love historical fashion and particularly the designs from the early 1910s? The costumes Kate Winslet wears in the movie Titanic are one of the most requested tutorials on my channel. I'm Michaela and you're watching Fashion Art Ventures. Today I'm going to show you how to render her white boarding dress or suit. I'm starting off with burnt sienna for the skin. I'm going to use it as a base tone for the hair as well. The colors I'm going to apply afterwards will give me that reddish hair color, which will make it stand out against her skin. With a fine brush, I'm going to work out details like her lips, some curls in her hair, and fine highlights on her face. If you want more subtle highlights on the face, you can use a pale color pencil. I'm using Polychromos by Faber-Castell. Rendering the shadows, keep in mind that the head is covering a large area of her face. The first layer of the head is a muted violet shade. I'm going to elaborate it later. Now I'm just setting a few shadows. Moving on to the suit, I'm going to first render the shadows in the fabric. For the thin stripes, I'm going to use well-sharpened dark blue pencil. So by rendering the shadows, before adding the pattern, I'm preventing the oil-based pencil to smear over the illustration. You should always consider that by layering watercolors or markers over color pencils, you run the risk of smudging the pencil. For the shadows, I'm not going to use gray. Most of us think of shadows as being black. However, shadows are blue in hue, meaning that blue is the general color for most shadows. Keeping that in mind, I usually prefer to use diluted dark blue with muted purple or mixed blue-red and a bit of green. I'm applying the shadows in the areas where the fabric creates creases, like the inner parts of the elbows, the areas around the hips, and the lower parts of the skirt along the thighs and calves. This costume has many layers and each layer creates shadows by covering the one under it. With the same fine brush, I'm coloring the velvet collar, the belt and the buttons of the jacket. I'm using a rich blue with dark blue, almost black for the shadows. The appearance of velvet is achieved by keeping less contrast between the main color and the shadows, and by adding very subtle highlights. After I have colored the head in purple watercolor, I'm going to use color pencils to create some texture. The colors I'm using are indigo blue, violet with black for the shadows, and flash pink for the highlights. For the silk satin bow, I am applying baby blue and pink to create the pattern in the fabric. The edges of the bow are reflecting light. To achieve the shine effect, I'm adding some more white ink to the most outstanding areas of the bow. For the highlights, I'm using a dry brush dipped in a white paint. I'm gently going over the paper, making small strokes. Her parasol or umbrella is in deep blue with a yellow pattern. It looks like flowers or something floral, but the pattern won't be completely visible as the fabric is wrapped around. It will appear as random yellow dots. Here I'm moving on to the line pattern. When drawing a pattern, keep in mind that the lines follow the shape of the body and the creases and folds in the fabric. The lines will break in areas where the fabric creases strongly. You can make the lines closer together if you wish. In the areas where the lines are in shadows, I'm going over the blue with black pencil to add more dimension and depth to the pattern. But this step is rather optional. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you want to see more similar illustrations, click on the links shown here or visit my YouTube channel page. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to stay connected and get informed about my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon on our next adventure.